Art is often seen as an expression of beauty, emotion, or creativity. But for some, it becomes a weapon, a force to challenge power, expose injustice, and fight for freedom. Few artists in modern history embody this idea more than Ai Weiwei. His life is a testament to resistance, a journey shaped by exile, rebellion, and the relentless pursuit of truth. From being the son of a persecuted poet to becoming one of the most influential and controversial artists of our time, Ai Weiwei's story is one of courage, defiance, and unshakable conviction. But how did Ai Weiwei become such a radical force in the art world? What drove him to confront the most powerful government in the world? And why does his work continue to resonate globally? To understand the man, we must first understand his roots. A childhood in exile. Ai Weiwei was born in 1957 in Beijing, China. But unlike most children, his early years were marked by hardship, not privilege. His father, Ai Qing, was one of China's most celebrated poets, a literary figure who once had the favor of the communist government. However, during the anti-rightist movement of the late 1950s, Ai Qing was suddenly labeled an enemy of the state. His crime? Expressing thoughts that didn't align with the strict ideology of Chairman Mao. As punishment, Ai Qing and his family were exiled to the remote, desolate lands of China. His father was forced to clean toilets, a humiliation meant to strip him of dignity. For young Ai Weiwei, this period was formative. He saw firsthand how the state could control lives, dictate narratives, and punish those who refused to conform. But rather than breaking him, these experiences planted a seed of rebellion that would later define his art. When Mao Zedong died in 1976, the political climate in China began to shift. Ai Qing was rehabilitated, and the family returned to Beijing. But Ai Weiwei had already learned a crucial lesson. Authority was not to be trusted, and silence was not an option. A new world in New York. In 1981, Ai Weiwei made a bold decision. He left China for the United States, seeking an environment where ideas could be explored freely. He enrolled at Parsons School of Design in New York and immersed himself in the city's vibrant art scene. This was the 1980s, an era of cultural rebellion, where artists were redefining modern expression. Ai was heavily influenced by the works of Marcel Duchamp, whose concept of ready-mades challenged the very definition of art. He admired Andy Warhol's ability to turn commercial images into powerful statements. He studied Jean-Michel Basquiat and the punk subculture that thrived on raw, unfiltered emotion. But perhaps more importantly, Ai Weiwei didn't just observe, he documented. With a camera always in hand, he wandered the streets of New York, capturing protests, police brutality, homelessness, and political movements. These weren't just photographs. They were glimpses into the struggles of a society that, despite its freedoms, was still grappling with inequality. However, life in New York wasn't easy. Ai faced financial struggles, worked odd jobs, and lived in small, cramped apartments. Yet, these hardships fueled his determination. He understood that art wasn't just about creating. It was about questioning, provoking, and challenging the status quo. After 12 years in the US, Ai returned to China in 1993. What he found was a country undergoing rapid transformation, but still deeply rooted in state control. It was time for Ai Weiwei to bring everything he had learned back home. The birth of an activist artist. Back in China, Ai Weiwei quickly established himself as a leading figure in the contemporary art scene. He experimented with sculptures, photography, and architecture, often blending traditional Chinese elements with radical modern concepts. One of his most provocative early works was dropping a Han Dynasty urn, 1995, in which he smashed a 2,000-year-old artifact to the ground. The act was shocking. It defied the very notion of cultural preservation. But Ai's message was clear. China's past was constantly being rewritten, erased, and manipulated by those in power. Destroying the urn was not an attack on history, but a call to question how history was being used. His growing reputation led to an unexpected project, the design of the Bird's Nest Stadium for the 2008 Beijing Olympics. The structure was celebrated worldwide, but Ai would later disown it. He condemned the Olympics as a propaganda tool for the Chinese government, a spectacle designed to mask the country's human rights abuses. This marked the beginning of his open defiance against the state. But nothing would define Ai Weiwei's activism more than the events of 2008. Exposing the truth. In May 2008, a massive earthquake struck Sichuan province, killing nearly 90,000 people. Among the dead were thousands of school children who perished in collapsed school buildings. The Chinese government tried to suppress information, refusing to release the names of the victims. Ai Weiwei took it upon himself to uncover the truth. He launched a citizen-led investigation, collecting the names of over 5,000 children who had died due to shoddy construction and government negligence. He published the list online, directly challenging the official silence. As a tribute to the victims, he created Remembering, an installation made from 9,000 children's backpacks, spelling out a mother's grief-stricken words. She lived happily in this world for 7 years. The government was furious. Ai was beaten by police while trying to testify on behalf of a fellow activist. He underwent emergency brain surgery due to the assault, but he refused to back down. Arrest and global outrage. In 2011, the Chinese authorities decided they had enough. Ai Weiwei was arrested at Beijing Capital International Airport and disappeared. For 81 days, he was held in secret detention under constant surveillance by guards. The world demanded his release. Protests erupted in major cities, and international leaders called for action. Under immense pressure, China released Ai, but placed him under house arrest, revoked his passport, and tried to bury his influence. Yet, even in confinement, Ai continued to make art, using whatever means he had. In 2015, after years of restrictions, Ai was finally allowed to leave China. He moved to Germany, and his focus expanded beyond China. Now, he was tackling global human rights issues. A voice for the voiceless. Exiled from his homeland, Ai Weiwei turned his attention to the global refugee crisis. He traveled to conflict zones, documenting the struggles of displaced people. His installations, like Law of the Journey, depicted the overwhelming scale of human suffering. His documentary, Human Flow, took viewers deep into the refugee experience, showing the reality of forced migration. Ai's work had evolved, but his mission remained the same: to challenge power, expose injustice, and give a voice to those who had none. Legacy and impact. Today, Ai Weiwei is one of the most recognized artists in the world. His works are displayed in major galleries, his voice is heard across continents, and his message continues to inspire generations. But despite his global fame, Ai remains an artist without a home. China has erased much of his presence from its history, censoring his name and work. Yet, his impact cannot be erased. Ai Weiwei's story is more than that of an artist. It is a story of resistance. It is a reminder that art is not just about beauty, it is about truth. It is about standing up when others remain silent. It is about challenging those who seek to control narratives. And that is why Ai Weiwei matters. What do you think? Does art have the power to change the world? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories.